Right. Okay. Let's get to some interesting bits. So, air law. How are we gonna make this fun and interesting? Right, we'll give it a shot. When teaching air law, I mean, obviously, it is very important. We should know as much about it as we possibly can and remember it, etc., and be able to regurgitate it. It is important. So I don't want to say it's not important, but I rarely ever meet anybody that finds it that interesting, unfortunately, this subject, and manages to remember everything probably they really should do. So we've got to try and find new and inventive ways of memorizing some of this info. But would you need to remember this when you're up in the air? No, you don't need to remember the AIP in the air.
Right,
So,
okay.
so that's very much on the ground. But for both exam and for day-to-day flying, you would need to know about the AIP.
Right, thank you.
That's right. So yeah, definitely use the book. I normally find anybody that's read the book, tried to remember as much as they possibly can, done a little bit of revision, and is doing quite well on the book's questions, normally passes the exam without any problem. The people that bash the question banks are normally the ones that fail because they've just got no depth of knowledge. They've got no idea why they're answering that question. There's quite a lot of manoeuvrability, but it can't go back up generally, not for long anyway. So, for instance, we would give way to all of that, but an aeroplane, no, we don't need to give way unless it's one of the typical rules, like an aircraft within a circuit pattern inside an air traffic zone has right of way from us. So therefore we give way. Simple as that. So most of those give way rules or hierarchy of the air is fairly common sense, and it all just, it comes down to controllability. And if you think of the circuit pattern in an aerodrome is a bit like a roundabout. If you want to join the roundabout, you can't just push straight in. Well, you shouldn't just push straight in front of somebody else. You need to wait for a suitable space and join in the correct fashion, in the correct direction, unless you happen to be at the old magic roundabout in Hemel Hempstead. Then it seems like a bit of a free-for-all.
Yeah.
So with a bit of study, you should be able to hit 75%.
What is the pass rate?
75%.
Some of them are tricky though. Some, you do have to think quite hard on some of them.
Yeah, it's often the wording. You've got to be careful because the wording will trip you up if you're not careful. So it's all about reading the question. RTFQ, yes, and then it makes it easier. But you will be seriously frowned upon by your instructor and flying school and head of training, etc., if you can't remember your low flying rules and your, collision avoidance rules and those sorts of things. So if you
it's 50 feet we're supposed to be above, isn't it?
Yeah, very funny. If you only ever memorized the answer to a question, that is not the way to do it. It is not going to work when you're actually up there flying that aircraft. You've got to have a little bit of depth of knowledge, and it will carry a far greater weight, especially in real life. There we go. I think now
Thank you.
Is to sing to Happy Birthday if anybody's up for that.
Hey.
Happy birthday.
Happy
birthday to
you.
Happy
Birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I could probably say
Thank you.
milk, but social distance.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right, thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Cheerio.
Till next week. And all next week as well then.
Paul.
All right.